Thịt kho tàu is one of those dishes a lot of Vietnamese kids, myself included, kind of grow up taking for granted because our families always make it in huge batches. But this year, I'm celebrating thịt away from my family, and I realized if I don't make it myself, I won't get to have it at all. In a heated pan with no oil, I start with searing the skin of the pork belly that I cut into about 1-inch chunks. This helps render some of the fat and firms up the skin so it stays pleasantly chewy instead of turning mushy during the long braise. After a nice sear, I toss the pork into boiling salted water and lightly parboil it for about 2 minutes, then rinse it really well with cold water. I was too impatient to wait for it to dry, and since I'm only making a small batch for myself, I just pat everything really dry with paper towels. Now I'm using my mortar and pestle to grind together some garlic, shallots, and Thai chilies. Marinating the pork is pretty simple, just some salt, chicken bouillon, a pinch of MSG, a little brown sugar or regular sugar, pepper, and all that's in the mortar. Give everything a really good mix and then let it sit for about 30 minutes. While that's marinating, I'm boiling my eggs for about 7 to 8 minutes, giving them an ice bath and then peeling them. Some people go for quail eggs, but I like the big ones. They just feel more satisfying to eat. I also love my thịt kho tàu with fried tofu, so I'm using a block cut into 1-inch cubes. Now we're finally ready to braise. First, in a pot over medium heat, I add in 1 part cooking oil, and I'm using avocado oil, and 2 parts sugar. I stir this slightly over high heat until it turns into this beautiful brown color, and then I add in my pork to cool down the pot slightly. Next, I add in equal parts 100% coconut water and filtered water. My grandma likes to use coconut soda, but I prefer pure coconut water. Then just a dash of fish sauce before letting it come to a boil, and then simmer for about 10 minutes with the lid on. After 10 minutes, I add in the eggs and tofu, then let everything braise together for another 50 minutes. And that's my little batch of thịt kho tàu. The name literally means braised meat, but the word tàu came from a popular tale that says southern Vietnamese fishing families would make a big pot of this to take with them on long boat voyages because it kept well, is affordable, and gave them energy at sea. Today, it is one of the most important dishes during thịt, not just because it tastes amazing, but because it represents abundance, togetherness, and the warmth of family as we welcome a new year.